Welcome back, everyone! Insert a witty intro here. Today, we are going to be talking about some cool, unique animals that you can make your fursona. So I've found some awesome, underused animals that would be great to make characters or fursonas out of. Back with the fish blanket as my backdrop. The first animal that we are going to be talking about today is the Capybara. These big boys are native to South America. They are the largest rodent that currently exists. Capybaras are very affectionate and can become easily attached. They are also one of the most mellowed out, chill animals that there is. They can get along with pretty much anyone. Our next animal is the big chunk himself, the Wombat. Wombats are native to Australia. They have very short leggy but are extremely muscular. They are very good at digging and are usually pretty grumpy. Next up, we have one of my personal favorite animals, the tree kangaroo. Tree kangaroos are very endangered, as are a lot of animals on this list, but tree kangaroos especially. In their native region of New Guinea, they are often hunted and their habitat is under super harsh destruction. Tree kangaroos are rather mysterious to us. We don't know nearly as much about them as we probably should, but we do know that they are pretty withdrawn and solitary animals. Fun fact, there is a tree kangaroo at the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo in Colorado Springs, and his name is Tristan. Next up, we have this feline impersonator known as the Fossa. The Fossa is a native to Madagascar, and while you could easily mistake it for a feline, Fossas are actually more closely related to mongoose. They are the largest carnivore on the island of Madagascar, and they also have a pretty bad attitude. Fossas are very cocky and secretive, but they can also have an explosive temper. Very full of themselves. Next up, we have the Mod Podge of an animal that is the Okapi. Okapis are native to Central Africa, and fun fact about these guys, their tongues can grow up to 1 foot long. Their signature stripy butts can serve as camouflage against dense foliage. Okapis are also very shy animals. We have the big time special big boy, the tapir. Native to South America and Asia, the tapir has gone relatively unchanged for the last 20 million years. They've got a pretty solid design if they haven't been touched by evolution in such a long time. Perfect for a wonderful fursona. Surprisingly, tapirs are also very good swimmers. They're usually shy and skittish, but they will not be afraid to stand up to you if you come near their babbies. Small boy, small tapir. Ooh, yes! This next one is the delightful Armadillo. Specifically the pink fairy armadillo. Did you just hear what I just said? Armadillo would make for an absolutely beautiful fursona. These boys are native to Central America and the southern United States. Their name, Armadillo, actually means little armored one. Sadly, that armor can protect them from a lot of things, but it can't protect them from getting run over by cars, which has become a pretty big problem for the armadillo. The armadillo has very poor eyesight and very poor hearing, and they are mainly solitary and withdrawn. Next, we have one of the most interesting animals on this list from an extremely unique habitat. It is the Lake Baikal seal. Lake Baikal is a lake located in southeast Russia, and it is also home to the Baikal seal. The Lake Baikal seal is the only true freshwater seal in the whole world. They are also the most graceful out of all the species of seal. The Lake Baikal seal also has about 2 extra liters of blood. This can help them hold their breath for an extended amount of time underwater. Next up, we have the true spotty boy himself, the quoll. Quolls are native to Australia. They are nocturnal, and their sworn enemy is the cane toad. Quolls are pretty much solitary animals. However, very strangely, they have communal toilet areas. They all poop in a pile. This one is by far one of my favorites that I discovered on my animal research journey for this video. May I present to you the Sonichu in real life? This is the Lowland streaked Tenrec. The Tenrec is a native of Madagascar. Madagascar has a lot of really unique animals. The Tenrec is active pretty much all the time. They just never sleep. They run on electricity. The Tenrec can actually rub their quills together to create a high-frequency sound through vibration, and this helps them to avoid getting eaten. Super unique talent, total spaz. Alright, this animal is something that I admittedly put into this list out of my own form of bias. Next up, we have my very own Pleistocene pal, the woolly mammoth. The woolly mammoth was a native animal of Europe in the Pleistocene era, the same era that myself, the Smilodon, is sprung from. Woolly mammoths are thought to have been killed off by climate change, and they were pretty vigorously hunted by early humans. There are a whole bunch of natural mummies that we have found of woolly mammoths. These specimens have been found frozen in ice, largely intact. The woolly mammoth was very culturally significant to early humans, and their raw materials, especially their tusks, were used to make many pieces of art. Woolly mammoth specimens have also helped us learn so much about the Pleistocene era and about genetics in general, as woolly mammoths would be one of the top contenders for cloning our very own Pleistocene part. After our pal the woolly mammoth, we have the Aardvark. Surprisingly enough, Arthur is based off of an aardvark, but you never ever would have guessed. I know a lot of you people out there are a sucker for big old ears. It might surprise you to know that the aardvark's ears can grow to 9.5 inches. That's pretty tall. Aardvarks are largely nocturnal and solitary, like a lot of animals on this list, and in all their solitary time, they can consume up to 50,000 insects per night. They're like a lot of us furries. We sit at home alone every night eating junk. Well, at least I do. Next, we have the Taman Doula. This guy is pretty much just a slimmer and, if I do say so myself, cuter version of the giant anteater. They are native to South America, and these guys are ripped. They have super strong forearms and big giant claws that they can use for self-defense. Every single one of these guys just skipped leg day. While they do have poor hearing and eyesight, the Taman Doula also has no teeth. I don't know why I said that as if it were a positive thing, but their sticky tongue serves as a great substitute. Their food basically gets crunched up within their stomach instead of in their mouth. Alright guys, we are almost to my very favorite animal on this list. But first, honorable mentions that didn't quite make it. First, we have the common fig, upright man, and the Canadian goose. Drum roll, everyone! The 100% best Fursona species that you could ever have! This unique animal is known as the North American urban cone. Native to urban areas in North America, their bright color scheme serves as a warning and a defense mechanism. They are usually herd animals that like to hang out in large groups, but sometimes you may find a solitary cone off by itself. There are many subspecies of the North American urban cone, some of them being thick, spicy, and standard. Okay, I'm just kidding, guys. Unless you want your Fursona to be a traffic cone, which is totally valid. My actual number one pick for an awesome, unique Fursona species is the giant elephant shrew. Look at this boy. We used to have this amazing, beautiful animal at my local zoo. However, it was kicked to the curb about a year ago. I have seriously thought about staging a riot. These little guys are native to Africa, and though you may not assume it by looking at them, they can run almost 18 miles an hour. Adorably, these giant elephant shrews live in monogamous pairs. Cute idea for twin fursuits or couple characters. And a quick weird fact that I did not know about is that giant elephant shrews were commonly used as subjects to learn more about how human menstruation works. Alright guys, well I hope you have found my list helpful. Just to remind you that a lot of the animals on this list are endangered, so I thought that this might be a really good way to shed a little bit of light on some of the lesser known species that need our help. Alright, thank you for sticking around to the end, and if you feel so inclined to make a character, Fursona, or any other art inspired by any of these species, please tweet them to me at BordoSnordo on Twitter. Later, losers!